Good morning, people. In our last video, we had covered nouns. So I thought, why not we talk about their closest relatives today? So close that they even carry the same family name. Yup, you have already guessed it. Today we are going to talk about pronouns. So, what are pronouns? Here we have a long list of names or words, whatever, but still that doesn't bring us anywhere close to the definition of a pronoun. So let's first have a look at it. Pronouns are those words which can replace any noun in a sentence and can act on its behalf. Pronouns are used to avoid repeating the same nouns over and over again. So basically, what you do in your writing or in your storytelling or whatever, you use a name once and then you use a particular word in the place of that name, representing that person or the idea, obviously. So, this word that you use in place of the noun which you used before is called a pronoun. Its types include personal and possessive, demonstrative, relative, interrogative, distributive, reflexive and emphasizing pronoun, and then there are indefinite pronouns and reciprocal pronouns. Today we will limit our discussion to only the personal pronouns. So, before we go on to the personal pronoun part, let's just revise something and learn a few more things. First of all, let's revise nouns. If you remember, noun is a naming word. Everything around us has a name. Whatever we may feel has their unique names too, like happiness, grief, anger, boredom, etc. These names, if you remember, are called abstract nouns. Anyway, basically, whenever we open our mouth to talk about something, we have to take a name to get ourselves across. Some more examples would include Ram, Sita, courage, boy, girl, etc. Now, let us talk about something new. For example, subject, predicate, and object. What are these? You see, each and every sentence has two parts. One of the part combines the main idea, person, place, or thing we want to talk about. We call this portion, this part, the subject. On the other hand, the other part contains whatever we want to talk about the subject. We call this part predicate. Finally, if there is a noun, a name in the predicate section, we call it object. So to summarize, the thing, person, idea, whatever we want to talk about is called subject. And whatever we want to talk about that subject, whatever information we want to give about that subject, form the predicate part. And whatever noun is there in the predicate part is called object. So here we have a sentence. Ram is married to Sita, clearly divided into two distinct parts. Now Ram is the person we are talking about. We call Ram the subject in this sentence. On the other hand, is married to Sita is the information which is provided with Ram. So you see, this particular information, we call it predicate. And if you notice carefully, you will find another name, Sita, in the predicate portion. This name we call object. Now moving on to the next part, we will talk about personal pronouns. Now first, let's have the definition. You see, since pronouns replace the nouns in a sentence, it can be well understood now that there are some fixed places to use a pronoun, either as a subject or as an object. The pronouns that stands for persons and sometimes animals are called personal pronouns. They come in gender distinctive sets, that is, they come in masculine, feminine, neuter, common gender. Now, the nasty noun nuisance. Let's look at a sentence using only nouns. Ram has a dog. Ram takes the dog for a walk every evening. Ram loves Ram's dog very much. Sounds boring, very bad, terrible. Now let's prevent this boringness by using pronoun, the preventive pronoun. Ram has a dog. He takes it for a walk every evening. He loves it very much. You see, even the length has shortened and the sentence sounds much more neat and clean. So that is the role of a pronoun. Now let's have some more examples. First of all, we will look at sentences using only nouns. Tingru lives in a hostel. Tingru loves to cook. Sometimes at midnight, Tingru cooks some really spicy Maggie and standing in Tingru's balcony eats with Tingru's friends. The sentence is long and repetitive. So many times do we pronounce the name Tingru, 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 Tingru. Now let's try some tact. Let's use some pronouns. So what it becomes? Tingru lives in a hostel. She loves to cook. Sometimes at midnight, she cooks some really spicy Maggie and standing in her balcony eats with her friends. The sentence is again shortened and sounds much better. In fact, the sentence sounds so clean that I'm sure Tingru too might heave a sigh of relief now that nobody is repeating her names so many times. She may even get some more Maggie to celebrate her relief. Now let's look at some more examples. One more, again with nouns. Ayu is a sweet dragon, but Ayu hasn't showered for 3 months. Today, Ayu noticed some moss on Ayu's stinky scales. And this time with nouns and some pronouns. Ayu is a sweet dragon, but she hates bathing. She hasn't showered for 3 months. Today she noticed some moss on her stinky scales. The sentence with pronouns becomes really neat. I'm sure again, if Ayu the dragon could listen to us, she might have been very happy to see us use such neat sentences about her. She might even go and take a shower in her happiness. Now let's move on to these forms of personal pronouns. You can see here that in this chart we have two particular sections, singular and plural. And then there are the persons, first person, second person and third person, repeated in singular and then in plural. So the subject in singular, first person is I and the object is me. In second person singular, the subject is you and the object remains the same, you. In third person singular, the subject becomes he, she or it. They replace any third person name and the object becomes him, her or it. In plural, first person, subject becomes we and object us. In second person, again you and object too remains you. Finally, in third person, subject is they and object is them. Now let's talk about the subject pronouns. I, we, he, she, they are the subject pronouns. For example, I know he's a good boy. She loves singing. They are coming. We also use the subject pronouns in formal expressions like with to be verb and then we use subject pronouns. For example, is it you? Yes, it is I. Is a be verb. So after be verb, we are using subject pronouns. Was it he? Yes, it was he. Again, was is a be verb and after that we use a subject pronoun. But the point is we use this when we are speaking formally. However, when we speak informally, we can use object pronoun after the to be verb. For example, in informal speaking, is it you? It becomes yes, it's me. Where's Rohit? That's him over there. That is him over there. Is a be verb. And after that, we are using object pronoun in informal spoken English. Moving on to the object pronouns now. Me, him, her, us, them are the object pronouns. For example, the boy is talking to me. Sir is calling him. Give them the books. Now let us talk about the types. Direct, I saw him or he called me. Indirect, my dad bought me a Kindle. Rohit passed him a note. You see, in the direct, him comes as the direct object to the verb saw. Same with me, direct object of called. But in the sentence, my dad bought me a Kindle, Kindle is the direct object of bought. The indirect object is me. Same with Rohit. The note is past. So note is the direct object. Him is the indirect object. Then there is object of preposition. For example, I went to the movies with him coming after with, and she will mail the list to us coming after to the preposition. Now let us move on to the double dealers. If you have noticed, we skipped two particular pronouns in the previous two lists, you and it. It is because they act as the double dealers. The pronouns you and it can act both as subject and as object. For example, did you see the tiger? Yes, I saw it. But it was far away and didn't scare me. Did it scare you? So you see, did you see the tiger? Yes, I saw it. It is used here as an object pronoun. But it was far away and didn't scare me. Me, again, object pronoun. Did it scare you? You, in this case, is the object pronoun. You can be both singular and plural. For example, Aurora, you must brush your teeth before you go to sleep. Here you refers to a single girl, Aurora. It is singular. On the other hand, in a sentence like children, you must remain quiet in the library. Here you refers to children and therefore is plural. It can be used for lowered animals or babies or all other non-living things. For example, I have a dog. It is a Labrador. Look at the baby. It's such a cute one. Have you seen the book? Yes, it is on the table. However, always remember, if we know the gender of the animals, we can use he or she with it. That will be all for today. So thank you.